High-level meeting on election preparations held. Chief Advisor stresses for comprehensive preparations to tackle any inside or outside attempt to foil upcoming national elections. National Consensus Commission hands over 8-volume report to Chief Advisor. Make Consensus Commission report understandable for people, urges Professor Mohammad Yunus. Supreme Court adjourns hearing on appeal over caretaker government system till November 2nd. High Court directs to form an expert committee to investigate overall safety issues of Metro Rail, including the recent accident, and to report back within 30 days. No fertilizer crisis in the country and no possibility of price hike, says Agriculture Advisor. The longer the election delayed, the stronger the facets become, says Mirza Fakhrul. 8 political parties, including Jamaat, announced new program demanding implementation of July Charter and referendum in November. Top 10 round of BTV's popular talent hunt program Notun Kore concluded. More than 100 Palestinians, including 46 children, killed in Gaza in Israeli attacks. Both Hamas and Israel taking accusation for violating ceasefire. And in Chattogram, West Indies beat Bangladesh by 13 runs in the second T20 and sealed the series by 2-0. Assalamu alaikum. Welcoming you all. News at 10. I am Nazneen Khalik Zubair with you. You have just heard the headlines. Now move on to the details. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus stresses on comprehensive preparations to tackle any inside or outside attempt to foil the upcoming national elections. He said many forces with large power from within and outside the country will attempt to disrupt the election. This election will be challenging and it must overcome. The Chief Advisor said this at a high-level meeting on election preparations at the State Guest House, Jamuna today. Noting that misinformation would be spread in a planned way to disrupt the election, Professor Yunus said there will be deliberate disinformation campaigns from both inside and outside the country to foil the election. AI-generated photos and videos will be circulated and must be ready to counter them immediately. To make the upcoming election a festival of democracy, the Chief Advisor emphasized reaching people with accurate information, how to vote, what to do in case of disorder, and why participation matters. Following the meeting, the Press Secretary Shafiqul Alam briefed the reporters at the Foreign Service Academy. He said the meeting emphasized that the government officers who had been involved in the last 3 national elections as returning officer, assistant returning officer or polling official should not be assigned similar election duties this time.
মূলত 4টা বিষয় নিয়ে এখানে আলোচনা হয়। প্রথম হলো সোশ্যাল মিডিয়ার যে ডিসইনফরমেশন, এটা খুবই প্রমিনেন্টলি আলোচনা হয়। আরেকটা হচ্ছে পদায়ন, যে ইলেকশনের সময় যে মাঠ প্রশাসনে কিভাবে পদায়ন হবে সেই বিষয়টা একটা বড় ইস্যু, সেটা নিয়ে বিস্তারিত আলোচনা হয় এবং ট্রেনিং নিয়ে আলোচনা হয় এবং সিকিউরিটি সিচুয়েশন কীরকম হবে এবং সেখানে ডেপ্লয়মেন্টটা কীরকম হবে সেই বিষয়েও গুরুত্বের সাথে আলোচনা হয়। নির্বাচনী এলাকায় পদায়নের বিষয়টা গুরুত্ব পায়, প্রথমে এই বিষয়টা আলোচনা হয়। একটা বিষয় জোর দেওয়া হয়েছে বোধ মাঠ প্রশাসনে, বিশেষ করে ডিসি, এডিসি, ইউএনওদের জন্য এবং যারা ডিস্ট্রিক্ট ম্যাজিস্ট্রেট আছেন, ম্যাজিস্ট্রিয়াল রোলে যারা আছেন, তারা যাতে এমন কোনো পদায়ন না হয় যিনি গত 3টা ইলেকশনে ইনভলভ ছিলেন। সেখানে তারা রিটার্নিং অফিসার হন বা পোলিং অফিসার হন বা অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট রিটার্নিং অফিসার হন, কোনোভাবেই যেন গত 3টা ইলেকশনে এদের যদি মিনিমামও রোল থাকে তাহলে এটা যেন না হয়। এবং এই বিষয়ে আজকে ইলেকশন কমিশনের তরফ থেকেও জানানো হয় যে তারা এটা অলরেডি মেজার নিয়েছেন এবং এই বিষয়ে যারা কাজ করছেন যেগুলো এজেন্সিগুলো, তারাও এই বিষয়ে আজকে মিটিংকে অবহিত করেন। সোশ্যাল মিডিয়ার মাধ্যমে আপনারা জানেন যে কিভাবে মিসইনফরমেশন, ডিসইনফরমেশন ছড়ানো হচ্ছে, সেটা নিয়ে আজকের মিটিংয়ে বড় রকমের আলাপ হয় এবং দুইটা কমিটি করার কথা বলা হয়। একটা হচ্ছে সেন্ট্রাল কোঅর্ডিনেশন কমিটি, যারা এই পুরো কোঅর্ডিনেশনটা করবেন, এবং এই সেন্ট্রাল কোঅর্ডিনেশন কমিটিটা যাতে একদম উপজেলা পর্যন্ত এই কমিটিটা থাকে, এইটার জন্য বলা হয়েছে এবং সেই বিষয়ে অলরেডি স্টেপ নেওয়া হচ্ছে। সিকিউরিটি সিচুয়েশন নিয়ে আলাপ হয়েছে, কিভাবে ডিপ্লয়মেন্ট হবে। আর্মির তরফ থেকে বলা হয়েছে যে 92,500 মতো আর্মি এবং নেভি ট্রুপস ডিপ্লয় থাকবে, তার মধ্যে 90,000 হচ্ছে আর্মি, বাকিটা হচ্ছে নেভি। তারা ডিপ্লয়েড থাকবে। আর্মি পুরো বাংলাদেশের প্রত্যেকটা উপজেলায় তারা এক কোম্পানি করে তাদের ডিপ্লয়মেন্টটা থাকবে। ট্রেনিংটা খুব জরুরি, বিশেষ করে আমরা বডি অন ক্যামেরা, কালকে এটা নিয়ে মিটিং হয়েছে, সেটা প্রকিউর করা হয়েছে। সেইটা কিভাবে ট্রেনিং করা যায়। আনসারের সবচেয়ে বেশি ডিপ্লয়মেন্ট থাকবেন আনসারের সদস্যরা। আনসারের সদস্যদের অলরেডি ট্রেনিং হচ্ছে এবং ট্রেনিংটা যাতে আরও এফেক্টিভ ট্রেনিং হয় এবং এই বিষয়ে ট্রেনিং রিলেটেড যতগুলো ভিডিও আছে এটা খুব দ্রুত যাতে এটা ইলেকশন কমিশনের ওয়েবসাইটে বা টিভি, স্টেটন টিভি, বিটিভিতে এটা আসে, সে বিষয়েও চিফ অ্যাডভাইজার বারবার বলেছেন এবং এটা খুব দ্রুত এই কাজটা করার কথা। মানে এই রিলেটেড প্রিপারেশনগুলো খুব দ্রুত পসিবলি বাই 15ই নভেম্বরের মধ্যে নেওয়ার জন্য বলা হয়েছে।
Chief Advisor Professor Mahmood Yunus called for publishing a book with a simplified version of the National Consensus Commission report to make it easily understandable and accessible to the country's people. The Chief Advisor said this while the Consensus Commission member handing over the 8-volume report to him at the State Guest House, Jamuna, this evening. The report included detailed recommendations, meeting minutes and records of discussions of the Commission. He said this report should be made into an easy-to-understand version and published as a book so that ordinary people, including school and college students, can read and comprehend it and explain it to others. Professor Yunus urged that the book be published in both Bangla and English, saying it would also be taken into consideration that this book should be included as textbook for students in the future. The young generation will read it, understand it themselves and share the knowledge with their parents, he added. Commission members including Vice Chairman Professor Ali Riaz were present at the event. Speaking on the occasion, Professor Ali Riaz said that the 8-volume report documented the July National Charter 2025, the process of Commission's activities, context, written proposals received from different political parties, public opinions and spreadsheets sent by the Commission to the political parties, as well as all discussions and dialogues. The 5th day of the hearing on the appeal seeking the restoration of the caretaker government system has been completed. The appellate division has adjourned the hearing until next Sunday. A 7-member full bench of the appellate division, headed by Chief Justice Dr. Said Rifat Ahmed, issued the order after today's hearing. On the 5th day, Barrister Joinal Abidin presented arguments on behalf of the PNP. The High Court has directed the formation of a specialist committee to investigate the overall safety measures and causes of the metro rail accident, ordering the committee to submit a report within 30 days. At the same time, the court issued a rule asking why 2 crore taka in compensation should not be provided to the family of Abul Kalam Azad, who was killed after a bearing pad fell from the metro rail structure. The High Court bench of Justice Fahmida Qadir and Justice Asif Hassan issued the order today after the preliminary hearing of a public interest litigation. Earlier, the writ petition was filed yesterday in the High Court by Barrister Abdullah Al Mamun, lawyer of the Supreme Court. It may be mentioned that last Sunday, Abul Kalam Azad, a pedestrian, was killed in Farmgate, Dhaka, when a bearing pad fell from a metro rail pillar. Following the incident, the authorities announced 5 lakh taka in compensation for the victim's family. The court also noted that a similar incident of a bearing pad ditching from the metro rail occurred last year. The International Crimes Tribunal has adjourned until tomorrow the testimony in the war crimes case against former MP Saiful Islam and 15 others who are accused of burning 6 bodies and killing 7 people in Ashulia Savar during the July movement. The order was issued this morning by the 3-member judicial panel of Tribunal 2, headed by Justice Nazrul Islam Chaudhry, after completing the 15th day of testimony. The other members of the tribunal are retired District and Session Judge Mohammad Manzoor al-Bashir and District and Sessions Judge Nur Muhammad Shahriar Kobir. Today, SI Ashraful Hassan gave his deposition as the 20th witness, testifying as a Caesar lists witness in the case. There are a total of 16 accused in the case. Among them, 8 have been arrested, while the remaining 8 are absconding. One of the accused, former SI of Ashulia police station, Sheikh Afzalul Haq, has confessed to his guilt before the tribunal. Earlier in the day, 7 detained accused were produced before the tribunal. As long as the interim government is in place, there will be no shortage of fertilizer, and the prices will also not increase. Home and Agriculture Advisor Lieutenant General Retired Mohammad Jahangir Alam Chaudhary informed this to newsmen after the annual development program meeting of Agriculture Ministry at the Secretariat today. Informing that price of fertilizer has been fixed for the farmers, the advisor mentioned that the government is providing subsidy in this regard despite import. Price of fertilizer is on the rise in the market. In the current almond season, there is good production, and this time the farmers are getting reasonable prices for producing almond, he added. Referring to a long-term plan for food grains for the next 25 years, the advisor stated that the government is enacting laws to protect agricultural land. High officials of the ministry, including Agriculture Secretary Dr. Mohammad Imdadullah Mia, was present. Jatiyo Gaon Adhikar Porishad has submitted a 9-point proposal to the Chief Election Commissioner to hold the 13th parliamentary election in a free, fair and credible manner. Jatiyo Gaon Adhikar Porishad President Nurul Haq Noor said this while briefing newsmen after the party's meeting with the Election Commission in the capital today. Speaking on the occasion, Nurul Haq Noor said the Commission has been instructed to take initiative for ensuring that no advisor of the interim government participate in the 13th parliamentary elections. The Commission has also been given proposal to cancel any polling centre if allegations of capturing the polling stations and fake vote are found. Chief Election Commissioner M.M. Nasruddin presided over the meeting. Senior Secretary of EC Akhtar Ahmed and 7 members of Gaon Adhikar Porishad delegation were present. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir has said the root of all problems lies in holding a genuine election through which a people's parliament will be formed, where reforms will then be included in the constitution through that parliament, and the country will be run accordingly. He made the remarks today at a book launching ceremony titled Judicial Reform, Election and Bangladesh Interim Period at the National Press Club. He said, if the election is delayed, the fascist forces will be stronger, those who want to see Bangladesh destabilized. Mirza Fakhrul Islam said that to resolve the ongoing political crisis, Bangladesh needs an acceptable election that will lead to the formation of a truly representative parliament. He urged the authorities to complete the necessary reforms without delay and to ensure a credible election that reflects the people's will. Gaon Adhikar Porishad President Nurul Haq Noor, Ganosanghuti Andolon Chief Coordinator Junaid Saki, among others, were present at the event. Eight political parties, including Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami, have announced a new program demanding the implementation of the July National Charter and a referendum in November, along with 3 other points. The parties outlined their 5-point demand and announced their upcoming programs at a press conference held at the National Press Club this morning. They said that a memorandum would be submitted to the Election Commission tomorrow, followed by a joint press conference of top leaders on 3rd of November to declare a broader course of action. Jamaat-e-Islami Secretary General Professor Mia Ghulam Parvar, Islami Andolon Bangladesh Secretary General Principal Yunus Ahmed and Khilafat Mujlis Secretary General Dr. Ahmed Abdul Qadir, among others, were present at the press conference. The announced 5-point demands are issuing an order to implement the July National Charter and holding a referendum on it within November, introducing the PR system in the next national election, ensuring a level playing field for all parties to guarantee a free, fair and credible election, bringing to justice those responsible for the fascist operation, killings and corruption, and banning the activists of the Jatiyo Party and the 13-party alliance, which they terms as accomplice to the autocratic regime. The leaders warned that if these demands are not met, the alliance will launch a tougher movement in the coming days. The chief coordinator of the National Citizen Party NCP, Nasruddin Patwari, has said that the July Charter is not merely a political slogan or document of compromise, but it must have a legal foundation. He made this remark at a press conference held this afternoon at the party's temporary office in Bangla Motor, Dhaka. Nasruddin Patwari also urged the government to take necessary steps to implement Proposal 1 of the National Consensus Commission's July National Charter 2025 implementation recommendation. He further stated that if the government adopts a draft order providing legal validity to the July Charter, it would pave the way for progress in signing the Charter. Today marks the final day of the Notunkuri Top 10 round. After nationwide selection and final screening, 279 contestants took the main stage this year. On the last day, 11 contestants are participating in the folk music core category. Each contestant is trying their best to impress the judges with their performances. The parents of the participants are emotional and proud to see their children perform. From the top 10 round, 5 contestants from each category will qualify for the grooming and final rounds. The judges say they are deeply impressed by the extraordinary performances of the children and adolescents. Meanwhile, on the final day of the top 10 round, Mahfuza Akhtar, Joint Secretary of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, along with Mohammad Rokunuddin, Coordinator of Administration and Finance of the Notunkuri Cell, and Nurul Azam, Convener of the Notunkuri Audition Committee, visited and inspected the event activities. Now, international news.